The Department of Homeland Security, created after the 9/11 terrorist attacks and the lead agency in threat detection, is operating without funding and now has a very conspicuous vacancy at the top. That's right, the agency that monitors cyber intrusions, terrorist threats, immigration, and airport security is hamstrung when Americans might reasonably expect to be at its most vigilant and prepared. Now, that's not to suggest DHS employees won't work hard. They will. They'll do their jobs, but they're doing that work, important work, strenuous work, without being paid. And this connects to the war in the Middle East in several very real ways, because that conflict shows no sign of slowing or contracting, which means the threat matrix continues to be alive. Azerbaijan, for example, said today that Iran attacked it. NATO countries have increased their surveillance and defense postures. The U.S. closed its embassy in Kuwait entirely. It had closed the consulate in Karachi, Pakistan, earlier this week after pro-Iranian protesters tried to storm it. U.S. and Israeli military officials say the pace of bombing and strafing across Iran will continue and that the pace of it may well intensify. President Trump told Axios something extraordinary today, something that signals, perhaps, how he views the war with Iran. Quote, "I have to be involved in the appointment," Trump said, referring to the next leader of Iran, like with Delcy in Venezuela. Delcy is Delcy Rodriguez, the new leader of Venezuela, who, quite probably in an act of self-preservation, political and otherwise, has cooperated with U.S. demands for access to Venezuelan oil reserves. I like to remind this audience what President Trump told The Atlantic magazine in April of last year, quote, "I run the country and the world," unquote. If you are keeping track at home, Trump also told Politico today that Cuba's government would be the next to fall. Its collapse hastened, he said, by strangling U.S. economic pressure. That's Venezuela, Iran, and Cuba. All this year, all Trump.